In this video, I will be showing you an example of Einstein Discovery for Salesforce. For this example, I chose data about homelessness risk, and I basically took a CSV file that has 7,000 records because Salesforce prefers at least 400 records, but if you can, 7,000 to get a more accurate predictive model. And all of this is hypothetically based on history where the person was at risk or was not at risk for homelessness. Once you have your file, you'll go ahead and upload it. You'll go into create, dataset, upload it here, show you some quick steps. Next, it's fine. And then you'll upload it. After that, you'll end up going to a page that looks like this. And then from here, it just tells you more about your data that you have, 7,000 records. Then what you'll want to do is from there, you'll go ahead and right click over here. Wrong one. Right click over here, create model. Once you do the create model, you'll end up on this page, and it'll tell you more about the data that you uploaded. Now, it's really important to look at this area under the curve. And basically, what Salesforce would like you to be in between is about 0.71 to 0.9 or 8.9. And the reason for that is that you don't want to be at 1 or above 0.95, because then that means that there could possibly be a data leakage because your data is too clean. And then if it's lower, then that means that if it's under from 0.69 and below, there's not enough data and the model can be just randomly guessing. So before you deploy it, you can actually look into more insight from your data. And if we go here, what this tells us based on previous history is that males with one eviction are 61.2% more likely at risk of homelessness. Same thing here. If they have at least one eviction, they're 58.6% likely. Here, if the person is female and has one eviction, if the rent burden from these three, and then from here, they're less likely if they make over 3,398, if the burden is 64 to 70% with 0 evictions. If they have a full-time job, they're less likely. I'm going back. Once you get a little bit more insight, you can go ahead and deploy your model. I'll just walk through some of the steps because I've already had it deployed. But what you'll do is you'll come up here, name it something new, make sure that no major issues are detected. You'll connect it to your object. For this model that I have, I chose to connect it to the contact. And then you'll just keep going, make sure that all the fields from the CSV and the contacts match. And then it'll lead you here. Now, this is where you'll end up seeing in the future when you have new contacts how the model is going. And you'll want to use this to monitor the performance as well. Now for this example, since I use a CSV, I had to re-upload all of the records into the contacts area as well. So then that way I could go ahead and use the actual Einstein tool. And if you don't know how to do that, all you have to do is go to import, bulk import, and import the CSV. So now, for the sake of time, so here's James Garcia. He's a full-time. He makes $3,679. He only has 66% of the rent burden, and his homelessness risk is labeled false. And this is from previous data. And he's 54, male. Yeah, no eviction. So he's, according to the predictive model, he's 10% likely to be at risk for homelessness. And these were the top predictors here. Now for Charlotte is taking 100% of the rent burden, has a previous eviction. The data says that Charlotte is a male and has a previous eviction. So Charlotte is 56% likely at risk. Here's David. Same thing, the top predictors were eviction, male, income is 954. Same thing for Mia. Mia has a 78.95% chance of being at risk for homelessness. Mia has 86% of the rent burden, one eviction, and Mia is as well unemployed. Let's see what else. And that's pretty much it for there. Daniel is 58%. He has 89% of the rent burden, and he's 22. He doesn't have any eviction history, but this combination, the prediction model, is determining that he's 58% chance at risk. Now you'll see how when you add a new contact, how the Einstein predictive modeling updates. So let's just enter in a new contact, John Smith. I think the email is required. Testing John Smith at Gmail. Let's go from there. Okay, so right now there's not enough information, but it's already putting him at a 36%. So let's say John is part-time. Let's give him an income of 1,000 and 80%. He has 0 evictions. And he's 20 and a male. So now it increased based on that past history that was uploaded to 42. So now let's see if we give him 3,000, if it'll go up or down. Stay the same. Now let's increase his age to 35. Take away some of the rent burden. Now it goes down to 24. So the more that you fill in about your contact, the more information Einstein has to go off of. Now, going in the future, what you'll want to do with your models is you'll always want to train the model, then evaluate, then redeploy and monitor performance. That's pretty much the model life cycle, and you'll always have to keep improving. And that's pretty much it for this video.